So we are reading At the Dark End of the Street, Black Women, Rape and Resistance, A New History of the Civil Rights Movement from Rosa Parks to the Rise of Black Power by Danielle McGuire. And our sessions it started June 3rd and they last until July 29th. They are from 6:30 to 8.
Oh,
What are we doing?
all right. Let's move on to the next section. Freedom Summer and White Hysteria, June 1964. This is page 4. Can I get a volunteer to read this section?
I don't have it in front of me, so
You don't? Oh,
I'm exempt, yes.
okay.
Bob Ferris, a Holland-born, Harvard-educated 26-year-old math whiz, came to Mississippi as a SNCC organizer in 1961, realizing that the local people remained vulnerable to physical violence and white retaliation. He and other SNCC leaders believed that only when white bodies were threatened would federal indifference fade, providing more protection for the activities and the Negroes who lived there. The summer project to recruit hundreds of northern white students to help register black Mississippi voters would bring the concern to the country, because the people of the country don't identify with Negroes. After 3 years of murder and mayhem, the federal government finally responded by sending a crack team of FBI agents. White Mississippians braced themselves for what they considered a military and sexual invasion, having made interracial sex a centerpiece of their attack on the summer project itself. These northern students, who were characterized as sex-crazed, white, beatniks, and black rapists, were not familiar with Jim Crow and not concerned with helping maintain the state's white power structure. They were a threat to white supremacy in Mississippi and could expose the white citizens' racist mindset to the world. Guns, ammunition, dynamite, 450 riot police armed with shotguns, dogs, tear gas, submachine guns, and 15,000-pound armored tanks were made ready to repel the interracial incumbent. The murders of Andrew Gutman, Michael Sewin, and James Chaney, 35 shootings, 65 cases of arson, over 1,000 movement people arrested, 80 activists beaten, and countless unreported civil forms of personal abuse and sexual attacks helped to make summer of 1964 the most violent since Reconstruction. White women in the presence of black men, whether professional or romantic, presented the ultimate white supremacist nightmare, driving the blood, lust, and sense of an impotence of white segregationists to the new level. The hypocrisy of their fear and racial,
Amalgamation
was emphasized by the light-skinned products of their nightmare integration and challenged by black women's testimony on the realities of interracial sexual violence. Man, you erase all this here and you just put the Hispanic in there, we got the same damn thing all over again. In the summer of 1960, L.J. Loudon, a married white man, was convicted of raping a black teenager by a jury of his peers. The verdict was unprecedented. No white man had ever been given a death sentence for raping a black woman in the South. However, Circuit Judge Henry Lee Rogers insisted the jury reconsider and make the recommendation for mercy to save the infrastructure of white supremacy. Despite the letter of the law, the white man would never pay with his life for raping a black woman. In 1985 interview from PBS, the series Eye on the Prize, David Dennis, Mississippi court director during Freedom Summer, reflects that you cannot make a man change in his this country by speaking in foreign language. He does not understand what you are talking about. This country operates on violence. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Has anything changed in 2014? Why not? Oh, well. Well, no. Short answer. Short answer, no. I mean, you know, I like to bring history alive because I always like to go to the border. You know, that's where the attention is at now, where we got, you know, hundreds of thousands of children that are fleeing from Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Ecuador, and the other oil-infested BP, Exxon companies that we went down there and destroyed their democracy and made gangs and warlords. And now the children are on our borders, in which we have a law that was enacted in 2006 that said any child that comes to our shores escaping sexual abuse, that we will house them. That's the law. And now they're trying to change the law to send those babies back into harm's way. So I like to say that when we have a system that have a law, and we have our Hispanic brothers and sisters that are doing the same struggles and the same freedoms that we want, that we are in the same boat as, you know, why is not the NAACP standing up for those people of color as well? So nothing has changed. Just changed one brown person that is African American and make him Hispanic, and you got the same daggone thing.
I don't even know what the NAACP's mission is anymore. Do they have a mission?
No, they don't have a mission. The mission is.
You know, I forgot what the mission was.
They don't have a mission. I'm not being facetious. That's why the president of the United States. That's why the president of the United States hadn't been to a national convention in about 5 or 6 years. You know, but you know that's for another conversation.
Yeah, it is. That's a long conversation.
True.
An eye for an eye.
That's all I got to say about that. So.
Yeah.
But we have children right here in the United States of America that are living in ghettos that are like Honduras, that's like El Salvador. They're trying to escape bullets and trying to escape a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, there's a lot of saving that needs to be going on. Because I don't know the last time one of you might have driven through a ghetto, but somewhere like you are in Honduras or Mexico, right here in the United States of America, and particularly down south. I've been down there a few times, and I've been through some neighborhoods, and I don't know where I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just so big. It's big.
Yeah. An eye for an eye. I'm thinking about that expression, something about an eye for an eye leaves two people blind.
Right. That's it.
You know, and that's certainly true, but there is an issue of self-defense that I think always has to be factored in. I really don't think that we are going to create positive revolutionary change with violence, because to a large extent the enemy is really who we see in the mirror. And you know, I'm not gonna cry the blues at this point about what I have seen in my own family and community in terms of their reactions to me when I fell into poverty. But what it did make very clear to me is that if we killed every white person on earth, we still have to live with each other. You know, when we look at how we treat each other in our own communities, in this country, and around the world, we still have to live with each other. So I believe that the issue is about learning how to, I don't know if it's about reclaiming our humanity or developing something that we have never had anywhere on earth at any time. But I do think it is about learning how to be human beings, learning how to share this global space in a way that allows everyone to have their basic needs met. And if we can only respond to our challenges with violence, then the only thing we will have learned how to do is respond to our challenges with violence. We will not have learned how to talk to each other. We will not have learned how to respect each other. We will not have learned how to value each other. So I'm done.
Very good point to end on.
Absolutely.